Ah. Yeah.
You are reaching, arrived.
Hello, citizens. Welcome to B Movie Battle. Today's episode is Nic Cage Cast. I'm reviewing the classic 2017 movie, The Humanity Bureau, which I constantly get confused with that Matt Damon one, The Adjustment Bureau. Is that what it's called? Where he's like, there's angels against him, against his love, and exclusively against his love. That's all they appear to be there for. No, different movie though. This is Nic Cage, and then that lady. And this guy, who's not the guy from X-Men, it's not Ray, whatever his name is, Ray Parker. No, what's that guy's name from X-Men? Anyway, not him. Very different guy. And he also looks like the Kevin's husband in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but he's not him either. Nope, different guy. I don't know who he is. He's in a shit ton of movies though. But anyway, 2017, The Humanity Bureau. I want to get as much light reflection as I can on that thing. There we go. Oh. Yeah. I failed. I failed so hard. Just like this movie. I got all the movies, as you see here. I got all but 5 Nic Cage movies. I think 2 of which I've done on the show that I cannot find because they're not technically movies. Like Zandalay, I cannot find, and I'm kind of glad I can't find it. I could get a shitty VHS copy, but this is all DVD Blu-ray. And I feel like having Zandalay will only irritate me more. And the fact that it will be the only VHS in the lineup would really make me mad again. And it's still my least favorite Nic Cage movie I've done. So I feel like having VHS would just drive me insane. Yeah, I'd have nothing against VHS, but oh my God. But yeah, I got them all. Someone shipped them all to me. I have a feeling it was Nic Cage himself. But out of the run of all the new movies, I was like, I want to pick this one out. And the Humanity Bureau seemed like the obvious choice. I was going to pick 211 or one of those other ones like Looking Glass, but I'm like, it starts off with a description of this hypersexual. I'm like, no, I don't want to see Nic Cage in anything that says the word sexual in it. No, thank you. I saw him as a sexual vampire in Zandalay. I'm good. But I guess we'll talk about the plot of the Humanity Bureau. I almost said the Human Bandit. That's nothing as far as I know. That's one of his upcoming movies probably. The movie is 94 minutes long. It feels like 2.5 hours long, and there's about 30 minutes of plot, and that's why it feels like 2.5 hours long. But basically, it's like after the world is over in a different way. It's like the opening crawl tells you so much shit. All these the chyrons pop up, and it's like just describing the world that you're in. Apparently, there's no water. There's like economic collapse. It's basically like Mad Max light. It's Mad Max without all the action sequences. And they're going for Mad Max, and they're going for like Logan's Run, and they're going for all these like 70s sci-fi movies, and they fail in every level.
You are reaching, arrived.
I don't hate this movie though. It was okay-ish in parts. Overall, I didn't really care for it, but it wasn't like fucking end, you piece of shit, what's happening? It's just like all kind of like going from one scene to another. Like Nic Cage plays I don't know his character's name. I don't know if it even says in the back. It doesn't. He plays a character who is named, and his job is to like quiz, and he's basically like an IRS agent for the Humanity Bureau, which is a team that deems if people of this new society after the economic collapse or after the nuclear holocaust, whatever the fuck happened, because you can't go to Canada because it's all full of radiation, or so they say. But it's kind of like the island where they lie to you, though. But it's like his job is to go around and ask people how much money they make, what they produce, because if you're not a productive member of society in this world, you get shipped off to New Eden. And it is like the island where they're really hoping for a chance to leave, and they're all here, and then all that happens in the island when they get out is that they get taken away and harvested for their organs. And that's the twist of the island. Spoiler alert for the fucking island. It's not very good. Don't watch it. But it's very much just a 70s sci-fi movie because it's him going, talking to people, and then he quizzes them and he's like, well, the new laws say that you got to do this. And he has like this 3D cell phone and it plays little images. and he's like taking notes through it like an old-timey detective. I just don't know what the point of that was. Because then he goes and quizzes one guy, decides he's not worth living or worth keeping, so he's going to take him to New Eden. And he gives you like 12 days to get your affairs in order, get your shit together. And he comes back to this, in the beginning, he comes back to this like really shitty town. And he's got a car, he's got a super nice car that says Humanity Bureau on the side of it. It's so stupid. And he gets in an argument with this old man who he's going to take away to New Eden. And the guy pulls a shotgun out and he's like, I talked to blank, blank, blank names, I don't remember, and I know the truth. Nic Cage is like, what truth? And then he starts shooting the gun. And the guy gives a warning shot through a bathroom door and allows Nic Cage to hide behind a couch because he's so sly. And then the hotel manager comes in and he shoots that guy instead. And then Nic Cage pops up and shoots the guy in the head. And that's it. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is the catalyst of Nic Cage's turnaround of his story arc, his character arc. And then Nic Cage just kind of like goes back to his compound there at the Humanity Bureau and talks to this dude who later on, spoiler, they tell you right in the back, has one eye. So something happens. But they discuss like all the New World Order, and then it's so I don't even want to go in order because it's just like so skips from place to place, and it's just like pretty much becomes Nic Cage and goes and visits this lady. She has a kid. They're out in a farmhouse. I forget her fucking name. It doesn't matter. And then he's like doing their taxes on a little calculator. Seriously, he's like in the IRS. And he's like looking over their receipts like. And little boy comes and sits down, and they have lemonade. Lemonade is like gold in this world. And they make their own water. People make their own water and sell it, which is illegal, we find out. But then he talks to the kid, and the kid's just like sitting there quizzing him about bullshit. And Nic Cage is like just answering his questions, gives him his gun. He gives him a fucking weapon. And then at the end of that, he's just like talking to the mom. He's like, sorry, you got to go to New Eden. You guys don't make enough money. You aren't productive enough. Got to take you. And he leaves, and he shows up the next day, and he decides, to hell with that, I'm going to postpone this so he can go to his recital.
That saved a wretch like me.
The grand old flag, it's a grand old flag. And I'm like, this is his fucking recital he practiced for. They're so out of tune and have not rehearsed at all, I can tell. This is such bullshit. No. And it's like everything in this movie is like kind of half-assed just to make it a movie. And that's why I didn't really care for it. It was just like kind of, this means this. They're really patriotic now. Get it? Here it is. Nic Cage, for some reason, decides to turn and not let them be taken to New Eden. He delays it. That gets caught. The eye patch guy is like, no, we're going to go after Nic Cage now. And a lot of the movie after this, actually the rest of the movie is Nic Cage and the mom and the kid hiding. And then trying to get away from these people. And there's like a drone chasing them. And they get caught. There's a swimming pool scene for some reason where there's a very racist thing, I think.
We should come in for a swim.
No, sir. I'll drown, sir.
We're really just still saying that black people can't swim at all? That's what I felt like. I don't know. But they go to Canada, and then they go in the snow, and it turns out there's no radiation in Canada. That was all a lie. Surprise. And it turns out the kid is Nic Cage's son, because movie has to happen, because it's like a Star Wars universe where everyone just has to be related. And the mom is lying about being who she says she is. That's someone else's name. The girl that Nic Cage fucked and made this little bastard child, this little redhead. She's gone, I guess, and then her friend took over the mom's name, so they could stay living in like some sort of like Iowa house and not go to New Eden. We never saw New Eden. We never saw this world. We never saw the mass graves that New Eden really is, and Nic Cage finds out about at some point. The flashbacks are very confusing as far as the timeline goes. We never see any of it. It's half-assed. It's a half-assed movie. Could be a decent premise. Could be a cool 70s throwback thing. But it was all them running around the woods. And that was it. It reminded me of Logan. Only shitty Logan. Remember in Logan when they're running around in the woods at the end and Hugh Jackman dies? Nic Cage dies in this movie. They kill the mom first. I'm so all over the place because the movie's all over the place. They finally get tracked down in the woods. The eye patch guy, I don't know his name, tracks him down. They have all his little SWAT team guys show up and they pull guns on Nic Cage and them. And then they shoot the mom out of nowhere really quick. And it's like, oh, she's down. Okay, well, all right, well. And Nic Cage is like, I'll give you the chip, which apparently the chip has all the secrets about New Eden, how it's a mass grave factory. They make mass graves. Why would it be a factory? It's a factory with mass graves in it. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. But they kill mom. I'm crying. They kill the mom. And Nic Cage is like, I'll give you the chip if you let the kid run away. The kid runs away. He gives him the chip. The chip ends up being empty. Kid runs back and sits there. And I'm like, dude, fucking run, child. What is wrong with you? And then they shoot Nic Cage in the head. And Nic Cage is dead. And I really debated again, going, nope, I'm good. I thought about having this world, this reality, where I shut the movie off after Nic Cage dies in all these movies that I review. I don't think he dies in a whole lot of these, but, I mean, Cotton Club he died in. And I really debated, and I'm glad I didn't, though. This one, not so much. Because after he's dead, fucking nothing happens. The kid, Nic Cage is dead, kid's right there. Some guys we saw earlier, there's like the stupid Mad Max characters in this fucking movie, like a guy and his kids. They're there, and then there's like some Indian people, or native people, whatever you want to call them, I don't fucking care. But they show up and they shoot all the bad guys, and then they let the black guy who's scared of swimming, they let him go. Because he throws down his gun, he's scared. He's scared of everything apparently. And then they take the kid, and they raise the kid. And then the video of Nic Cage, the chip that Nic Cage saved was in the kid's like fucking Lucky Rabbit's foot thing. And then they download it and upload it to the internet rather. Everyone sees it. Everyone in the world, apparently, in the country. I don't understand the economics of this world because they all have TVs. TVs are widely available. Computers are available, but there's economic collapse. You have to pull your own weight. It's like a farming community now. I don't understand any of this. They don't really set that up. They don't go into detail how this actually works. I don't know why they can even see these videos if they're that desolate. If they're that without technology and the world has collapsed and they're just like, oh, we saw this video, let's get up in arms. And they start like this, they're going to go charge the Humanity Bureau. They're going to go charge the city and stop New Eden from making a concentration camp, essentially, is what it is. Let's call a spade. That's what they're fucking doing. They're killing people in mass graves and gas chambers and shit. But the whole ending is what I wanted to watch as far as the movie goes, because the end of this movie is everyone revolts. They all get in their trucks. They track down the black guy. They shoot him, and then they're all ready to go in this like fucking renegade army. They're starting a militia, and they're gonna go attack this thing, the Humanity Bureau. And it's like I don't know, one of those Hunger Games movies where it's like revolting at the end of the first one, I think. And I'm like, oh, here we go, and then they never really follow through with it. And if they made a sequel to this and it's about the revolt, which they're so excited about, I might watch that. But having it as an ending is just like, oh yeah, oh, the credits. And go flaccid. I'll let it go flaccid because I'm not getting what I need here. It was getting good, and it was over because they didn't want to spend money watching a fucking war happen. I think hopefully they get a sequel. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I hope they get a sequel to this. I just don't know. I think it has commentary with Nic Cage. I'm going to watch all these movies if they have commentary with Nic Cage. I can't wait for that because that's going to be exciting. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. I kind of want to keep this one short because the movie doesn't deserve a long review. As far as Nic Cage in the movie, when he's doing his investigating and he's doing his when he's just like, I am working for the company, but I'm discovering stuff about the company, I like all that. When he has a couple of emotional scenes, it feels like he wasn't willing to do the emotional scenes. Because I've seen him do emotional scenes before just fine. But in this movie, it felt like he didn't really want to do it.
What was his father like?
The movie doesn't look good for the most part. There's some cool sequences in the woods when they're in the car and they're hiding in front of the drone that's popping around. That's cool looking. But the opening of Nic Cage in the desert and he's driving around Nevada, it looks like Sin City. It looks fucking terrible. It looks god awful. It is so like like when you have green screen in an automobile, it never looks good. It is so hard to make that look good and real. And it just looks like he has like an orange light on him in this scene, or like a yellow light on him. I don't know what the fuck they were trying to go for there, because it didn't follow the rest of the movie. It just didn't. It just fell apart after that opening scene. It just didn't matter. So I was like, why make that so stylized when you're not going to follow through with it? The movie was neither here nor there, and that is one of my least favorite characteristics of a movie, when it doesn't commit to one thing. They should have gone full 70s throwback sci-fi movie and just made it Logan's Run, and just made it one of those kind of movies with a bummer fucking ending, because it had a bummer fucking ending. They should have really committed instead of dipping their toes of the 70s sci-fi genre. Just fucking gone all in, have just the most ridiculous plot, have miniatures in the background, and do matte shots, like matte paintings, and just go for it. Just fucking go for it. Instead, they just like ran around the woods, and then they got shot, and it was over. And then by the time it got exciting, the credits were happening after that. And it wasn't really sci-fi. They didn't really show you the world. You just saw some places in the desert, and like Iowa, where the fuck they were. And then you saw like a kind of a street where they all got rallied together for their to go start a revolt. Shit. And you never got to see any of the world. All the technology you saw was his little phone that displayed. They didn't do that. They didn't do any. They didn't commit to anything, and it made the movie just like not work. And I'm bored just talking about it, and it's a bummer because it looked like it was gonna be fun. You could tell on the front cover of the DVD there, the Blu-ray, he doesn't look excited to be there, and it's very apparent in the movie. So I don't know what I'm gonna watch next. I don't know which one of these fine gems is gonna be up. I was kind of doing a tally of which ones I've seen before, and I think there's like 28 of those still standing up that I haven't done and haven't seen, and like 13 of them or so I have, or the other way around. I don't remember. But there's a handful of these I haven't seen or I know nothing about. Mostly starting over here, the very early ones. I don't know anything about them. I'm looking forward to it. I kind of want to do Deadfall, because I think that's where he has that fake mustache and that freak out, where he's super coked up. And I think that's the beginning of Rage Cage. I'm looking forward to it. As far as which Cage stars in this movie, I would say Quiet Cage, which sucks. I thought it was going to be the back of this sumbitch. This bitch has a fucking full-on machine gun. Oh, why? But I thought it was gonna be like a super action-packed movie, because this bitch has like a machine gun in the back and she shoots it like once. And I thought she was gonna be like a Jason Bourne badass with like, because she's lying about her identity. This guy has a gun here and he shoots a gun a bunch of times, but it doesn't really pay off. It's not an action movie. I want to throw the fucking thing so fucking hard. God, I want to smash it so hard. It's taking everything I have not to smash this fucking thing right now. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Okay.
Reaching. You have left the security perimeter of New America.